Now, in the last video, we talked about callbacks. So one of the key critical callbacks that you're going to be using for making your machine learning tasks easier is to use what's known as Tensorboard. Tensorboard is a utility that comes with TensorFlow and that helps you to um, monitor and visualize metrics such as loss and accuracy while the model fit is happening, or comparing contrast different kinds of optimizers and hyperparameters tuning. So that's what we're going to look into right now. So the way how to use TensorBoard is just like the way how we talked about callbacks. So you would create a callback and then tell that I want to create a TensorBoard callback. This comes straight out of TensorFlow. So you don't need to write any other code other than just calling it, and say that, I want to use the log directory as logs. So when you call the fit and give that callbacks, the callback in TensorBoard will create enough data structure for creating the information for you to visualize various accuracy and loss that happened during your fit function. So once if you do that, then from the command line, you would kick off the TensorBoard by this command, TensorBoard with the logs directory, or you can also do that in your Jupyter notebook by using a percentage, which we are going to look into more closely right now. So I'm going to be using the same example that I used from the last. It's the TensorBoard example. I'm using the same MNIST training that we created, except that I'm giving a names for layer 1 and layer n for the last one, and then I'm creating a model. And so what I have done is I've created two trainings, one using SGD optimizers, the other one using Adam optimizer. So I'm going to call fit on each one of them, and then I will change the log directory just to see what functions are the output these two different optimizers do. So when I run them, I've already run them, but we can take a look at the output. So in order for you to start the TensorBoard, you would go and start, type in TensorBoard logs directory logs, which I've already started. And when you do that, it's going to take a look into the logs directory, which is created locally. And then you can go to this URL to inspect more on what really happened. So first time around, here is when you go to the browser and open that URL, you would see different runs, because as you can see here, that logs directory I called SGD with logs/SGD, and for Adam optimizer I created all the data structure in logs/Adam. So if I take a look at that TensorBoard, you would see two check marks for each one of the runs that you have created, and you will see the accuracy, how it started and growing. You probably will see Adam growing really higher, started with a higher accuracy and growing up, just because I had a residual that was running before SGD. And same thing, you can see the losses is going up, and if you observe any losses that's not consistently going up for each epoch, you can perhaps make a decision in terms of stopping early and other decisions that you would normally make when you are training a deep neural network. So in addition to all this, you can also get to see the graph. So we created a flattened layer, and then layer 1 we created a dropout, if you remember, and then the final one is a sigmoid layer. So it shows how your layers are constructed, which you can also see it here just to validate. And then you can look at the histogram for different layers, how the weights are distributed. So we trained our model for 5 epochs, if you remember, and here is the distribution of the weights, one for the bias, one for the weights for different layers. So this is for layer 1 and this for layer n. Hopefully this kinds of information will give you how different optimizers or learning rates, any of the hyperparameters is helping you to build better models and optimize your models using these visualization techniques.